Yeah.
But what the Democrats are going to need is a justification to the country that this isn't just bad judgment. It's just not deviation from the norm. It's an abuse such that we find it intolerant to the point of nullifying the election.
Yeah.
It's a high bar.
Well, when they say high crimes and misdemeanors, it's not that it has to be a high crime. It means a person who is committing the high crime or the misdemeanor or the bad behavior is in a high position. And you know that. That's what the
I think it's a non-existent standard, but you got to make the case.
Yeah.
I wonder what sort of pressure the DNI was facing, because the Washington Post has reported, and we have just confirmed that the acting director of national intelligence, the DNI, threatened to resign if he could not speak freely before Congress.
He must be under immense pressure right now from the White House and from the DOJ. He really is stuck between a rock and a hard place here. There's very little that he could do but to give the Congressional Intelligence Committees the disclosure.
Wilford, a source familiar with the matter, now confirming to NBC News and Washington Post reporting, breaking within the past couple of minutes. The Washington Post reporting that the acting director of national intelligence, Joseph McGuire, threatened to resign if the White House didn't allow him to testify freely before Congress about this Ukraine situation. The Washington Post reporting, again, just within the past couple of minutes here, that he feared the White House might attempt to force him to stonewall when he provides testimony on Thursday.
A few moments later.
The acting director of national intelligence, Joseph McGuire, has put out a statement saying, "At no time have I considered resigning my position since assuming this role on August 16th, 2019. I have never quit anything in my life, and I'm not going to start now."
The Washington Post has reported, and we have just confirmed, that the acting director of national intelligence, the DNI, threatened to resign.
Right. The acting director of national intelligence, Joseph McGuire, has put out a statement saying, "At no time have I considered resigning my position since assuming this role."
So, Washington Post with a doozy of a story. The acting director of national intelligence, that's Joseph McGuire, according to them, quote, threatened to resign over concerns that the White House might attempt to force him to stonewall Congress when he testifies Thursday, according to current and former U.S. officials familiar with the matter. Now, let me give you how the White House is spinning it. They came out with a very simple statement, which sounds like, again, as usual, that they were kids. It just says, that's actually not true. That's it. Okay, no.
That was really convincing.
That's actually not true.
It just says, that's actually not true. That's it.
That is their statement.
Persuasion. That was amazing.
Cause you's a lying motherfucker. These motherfuckers lying to me. I don't trust you boys, I can see.
They came out with a very simple statement, which it just says, that's actually not true. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, no.
That was really convincing.
That's actually not true. That is their statement.
Persuasion. That was amazing.
Well, do you want to say why it's not true or what part of the story they got wrong? Just, that's actually not true.
Is that literally it? There was nothing else?
That's right. It's in the Washington Post. The White House also disputed the account. That is actually not true. White House spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham said in a tweet.
The Amazon Washington Post just put out a fake article that acting director of national intelligence, Joseph McGuire, who I've gotten to know, and he's a tough cookie, and I was surprised, I was shocked to hear this, was going to quit.
Reported, and we have just confirmed that
the Washington Post, the acting director of national intelligence, threatened to resign if he couldn't speak to Congress about the whistleblower complaint. There's only one problem. None of that is true, because the acting director said, quote, "At no time have I ever considered resigning my position since assuming this role."
So this is a very important development. If the director of national intelligence is not allowed to testify by the White House, I don't know what he does. I know what Congress should do. You follow the law, otherwise there's legal consequences.
Donald Trump has taken a sledgehammer to the ruling class, and the ruling class is fighting back hard as hell, and they're never going to stop. He beat back Spygate, the Russia hoax. He exposed Hillary, all of her corruption, and now he's beginning to expose the Biden family corruption in Ukraine and in China. and they want to impeach him for exposing Biden's corruption. This is what's going on. The left says they don't believe what Biden did, abusing his power, abusing taxpayer money, and his son enriching himself is a crime. They think it's a crime for Trump to say, hey, can you look into that?
Do you think the sole reason the president made this call was to ask Ukraine to investigate Biden and his son?
Much of the phone call was about the investigation that he wanted the Ukrainian leader to open into Biden and his son. It's a completely bogus charge. There's no evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden did anything wrong. But in addition, Trump now asks his attorney general to also get involved, and that's using the Department of Justice to also target Trump's political opponent for nefarious reasons. This is a massive abuse of power and a betrayal of our values.
Because Donald Trump is the chief executive of the executive branch of this country, and he is in charge of executing the laws. So if some American citizen is committing potential crimes in the United States or overseas, he has the right to say, hey, guys, can you look into it? But the Democrats are saying, no. Joe Biden and his family, they're above the law. Joe Biden can't be looked into by this current administration, and he can't be looked into by the Ukrainian administration. So Joe Biden basically gets a free pass. He can run around and commit all sorts of crimes because he's just above the law. And to say that this administration can't enlist an ally to look into potential corruption of a political opponent, isn't that exactly what the last administration did? The last administration enlisted multiple allies, including Ukraine, to look into Trump and all of his people on no basis, with no evidence. Yet this time, the evidence is right in front of us. We have Joe Biden on tape, and we have his son's receipts. So at this point, the Democrats are accusing Trump of crimes they committed, and this is in order to get out in front of the Durham investigation and the Bill Barr investigation. It's an admission they can't beat Trump at the ballot box. And this is Nancy Pelosi trying to ride this crazy impeachment train the best they can. But you know what's going to happen? Sadly, coincidentally or not, Joe Biden might take the fall for all of this.
Trump is so stupid. Anyway, if McGuire was to turn and say, the White House does not want me to tell you what the whistleblower said. They have asked me to violate the law. I will not do it. Here's what the whistleblower said. And Donald Trump made a promise to this foreign leader, and it is not right. And here's the evidence of it. Good night, Irene. It's over, okay? It takes one person with courage to say it, because at that point you can't deny it, and you would have hard evidence, and it'd be over. This close, this close.
I just want to say, and I've seen this, I've been saying this from the beginning of the Trump administration, those people who are enabling him, who assuage their conscience, witness the kind of things he does on a regular basis. And we've heard the reports, I've heard you reporting, the kind of things this person does to do moral vandalism in that office. Those people that are enabling him, there is a cold, frigid place under the historical eye. They will go down in history as despicable actors who have enabled one of the presidents who's doing some of the worst things to that office in the entire history of our country.
Fuck you, man.
The truth comes out. The truth about Donald Trump will come out. That is why we will defeat him in 2020 if he is still there. But these people, I have a very low regard for people who know he's doing wrong, but still enable him, defend him, and in many ways empower him to remain in that office.
Hey, fuck you, man!
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, look, the only crime that President Trump committed is that he won the election and that Hillary Clinton isn't the president. They have wanted to impeach him since the day of the inauguration. This is their plan. They want to disenfranchise 63 million American people and punish them for choosing somebody who's not a swamp creature.
We got to beat Trump, because if we don't impeach him, we're not going to beat him in the election. Last word, Dan Bongino.
Right.
Sean, they're frauds, and it's really sad because I'll always be a supporter of the free press, but unfortunately they're free to be stupid. And they've taken us up on that offer every single time, and I wish it weren't so.